Hello, everybody. It's 1 o'clock, my time in the Midwest. It's election day. But Debbie, I'm introducing you to Debbie at Three Shifting Veils. And Debbie has been a student of mine, but she's opened her own little channel, Debbie at Three Shifting Veils. And uh, I have to watch my thing too, Debbie, for people who have questions. We have 4 questions, but the big thing we're going to do today is Debbie agreed, since she started this new channel in 2025 ought to be a real adventure for her. I asked her to, do you have this broadcast on a phone or anything?
I turned it off. My phone.
Okay, I just heard it. I was like, don't do that. It will make us both crazy.
No, I turned it off as soon as I realized what was going on.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a sample 12-month reading. It's a sample in as much as we're going to go through it sort of quickly, but it'll give you an idea because I'm starting my 12-month readings of what to expect in 2025. And this brave lady agreed to have it done on camera. And I offer this to people and they look, will other people see it? Well, yeah. By the way, today I want y'all to know the internet is very unstable because bazillions of people are trying to get on to see what's happening in Cleveland. It's just that way. And I didn't think about that when I scheduled this. It's better than later this evening when I'm teaching a class on Zoom. That ought to be a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm gonna let Debbie sort of explain herself a little bit, and then I'm going to lay out the 12-month reading, and then I've got 6 questions so far. I had five that came in early, and another lady who's posted this time. So I'll go to do those readings too. And I've got the cast off. I mean the brace off. So I'm hoping my hand will stay together so I can shuffle cards. I'd like you all to meet Debbie at Three Shifting Veils.
Hello. I started my channel mainly because when Linda G talked about how people were angry over her saying that we have to stop all the hate talk and we have to start embracing and sending them love and light, I realized that people weren't getting quite the message she was trying to give them. That by surrounding them in love and light, you're putting a shield of protection around them and you're protecting yourself as well, because any negativity they send out is going to come back to them. So that's why I decided I had to start my channel. Have no idea what I'm going to really do. I'm just kind of going on a journey. Nancy Jean has been a wonderful teacher. She's been helping me so much. And I'm an open book. There's not much to hide. I've been a student of the esoteric and metaphysical for over 30 years. Mm-hmm. After I got kicked out of organized religion when I was 10, I just kind of started wandering around. I got into mythology, and through mythology, I found out about reincarnation. Then through reincarnation, I started getting into the metaphysical and the esoterical. I had to do everything quietly, though, because we were raised, you don't talk about anything like that, and you don't let people know anything. My grandmother was very afraid of the government finding out stuff, and my grandpa was Southern Baptist. Mm-hmm. And when she passed, he came to me, and his eyes were finally opened. I had a nice conversation with him a few days before he died, and he wanted to know who was this Edgar Cayce person that she was reading about. Because before she passed, she asked me to bring some of the books over for her to read. Mm-hmm. And I told him about it, and it scared him. But he was more scared because she was talking to him every morning. And as a Southern Baptist, that just was not something that was supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. So from then on, I just decided to heck with it. I'm me, and I'm not hiding it anymore. Mm-hmm. That's just where I'm at now.
Yeah. It's amazing how people are opening up before the plague hit and sent everybody home and made them have to really look at themselves. Um, I, I'd been reading cards at table for about 10 years before then, and I'd read at psychic fairs, but I was reading on a regular basis at a table. And 15 years ago, I'd occasionally get a person, the high priestess would show up, and that's a card that says to me, you're in a psychic situation. Or I'd see the person was opening up, and they'd go, oh no, not me. I can't. No, that's why I come to you. And you'll hear me say this in a rather disturbed voice at times into the chat. You have your guides for a reason. Talk to them. The question, what is my guides going to say to me? I can talk with your guides, but the best thing is for you to learn to talk with your guides. Now, if you talk to your guides and they say something, you can kind of double check it. But anyway, that's a whole nother Nancy Jean peculiarity of things she doesn't like to do. So, but the last year or so before, probably starting in late 2017 and in 2018, when I went to Denver and I saw crystal grids for the first time and really started working with stones on top of all the other stuff I did, I started having people, I'd see it all the time. You're about to open up. You're seeing things and you're scaring yourself. You're not really listening to what they're saying. And people would go, you could kind of finally pin them down, and they'd go, oh my God, I can use this stuff in my everyday life. It's not something I need to come out on Saturday and see you at the vintage store about. And I was seeing people opening up like crazy right before the plague hit. And then the plague hit, and then I had to come home. And it was kind of good for me because, well, other than I didn't get COVID, it was good for me because it gave me time to work with my own skills and not on a time clock like anybody else had. And it opened me up to all the other people who were coming onto YouTube that were like me too. So I remember the early days. It was in late 2020, in December of 2020 is when I started my channel. So it's a fun journey, Debbie, and I think you'll love it. And now we're going to do her 12-month reading, and then we're going to do other people's readings. And yes, I have my feelings about how today's going to go politically, but what I'm going to do this afternoon is I'm making a bunch of Chinese and Japanese appetizers to have tonight with my family, and I'm going to blow us up big, Debbie. Get ready for the big Debbie. Oops, you got to move over. You're cut out of your camera. Can you?
Let me see if I can move my camera there. Nope, that's not happening. There we go.
Okay.
Now I just have to move me again.
Okay. I'm sorry to do that to you. I should have realized we were going to do this. Okay.
Okay, there we go. No problem.
And we're going to go to, wait a minute, what? Settings. We're going to go to the table.
Okay.
Ta-da! You went to the table. The internet is really slow today, guys. Okay. The first 12 cards I'm going to lay down here are the months, and they're January, February, March, April. I hope you know the 12 months of the year. If not, I'm not sure I can help you much. It's January. I'm going to pull a camera up. I should have staged this better myself. January, February, March.
Maybe if you cut me out, you'll have more room.
No, that doesn't hurt, do this at all.
Oh, okay.
Okay. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. The problem is that these are huge cards. This is Radley Valentine's Power Tarot. I will get it there, guys. This is me. I was trying to get ready for Debbie and do a bunch of other stuff this morning. That's October, November, No, this is why I only do these in the beginning of the year, because I can't do this if the dates January,
Thank you.
February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I knew there was another card in there. Okay. These cards are always read right side up. Their images are always like right side up when I lay them out like this. He means for this deck to only be read right side up. And you can tell that by the back, because if you can see if it's the other way around, if you look at cards that you can read either direction, they are cut in half so that you can't tell the top from the bottom when you're looking at the back. That's a clue. Like the little cards I'm going to put on, you could lay them either way and it's not going to make a difference. I mean, they look the same. And so this is going to be the main vibration in that month. And then I'm going to put a little modifier on it. And it hurts. Shuffling cards still is not my favorite thing to do at this point in my life. Okay. Now, one cut or two, Debbie?
Two.
Two, okay. When I used to do these live with people, and I invented this reading to read, oh dear, it's not showing up like I want it to. Yeah, you'll be able to see the cards. Okay. I invented it for a New Year's party I used to read at, and I wanted something I could do relatively quickly because everybody said, what's going to happen in the new year? And there's so much stuff that happens in the new year that it's really hard to, okay, let's see. Okay, so, and this is a modifier, and this little card, this can be right side up or upside down, and it's going to tell me the flow of energy in that day, in that thing. And that way, you could have two of any card that's in the deck, and if sometimes that happens. The latest one that happened to me was last year when I was doing 12-month readings, and a woman got, on December, she got the Fool and the Fool. So, I mean, that's open for anything, right? Okay. Oh, you're having the Epiphany. This is the Hermit. Joy through spiritual growth. This is your January. Be the light to others. And that's what you're always saying is love and light, right? Mm-hmm. Answers come through meditation. So you're doing the right thing. But you're going to you have the Knight of Pentacles, which means you're not doing this for the money. This is for the joy. But the fact you got a pentacle there, it all means you're going to feel it in your physical life. You're going to feel it in the world that's around you. That's your January. February, woo, King of Cups, King of Raphael. Yes, it's safe to trust. The ability to accomplish many things at once. Follow your creative passions, which you're doing. And you're doing them the way you want to do them. Not like, there's like not a book on honest guys. There's no book that says, this is what you need to do to be on YouTube. We all wish there was one. There is not one. So you're doing it your own way. February looks like a good month. March. Okay. March, you got the Five of Ariel. This is a Five of Coins. You needn't go through this current challenges alone, which means March is going to be a challenging month for you. And help is nearby. You're going to get to that point sometime during that month that you're going to feel a little like this. Should I end this? Should I stop it? Or you're going to stop something you've been working on in order to put more energy into your channel. And we'll see what happens to you in April to see how this works out. Oh, well, the decisions you're going to make about how to change things and what challenges to meet are going to be totally rewarded in April. That's the 10 of Ariel. That's the 10 of Coins. There's so much to be grateful for. Financial success and the present. And you're going to be able to get rid of some of the things you're burdened with now that are part of what you're doing in your life, whether it's responsibilities you've taken on. But those are the things you're going to be cutting off. You're going to have a rich and revealing family life. So it's going to help you a lot. And look at your modifier, the sun. April is going to be an absolutely spectacular month for you. I think a lot of the challenges of the channel and stuff are going to start to fade away, and you're going to feel more in control. Then what happens in May? May is when you're really going to start walking into your power, your psychic power. Powerful psychic insights, reflections, and meditation provides valuable information, and you're going to be at peace. You're going to feel like, I'm doing this. It's the right thing to do. It's worth all the time. And you're not going to be looking for new endeavors to get into. You're going to be totally focusing on working the channel together with your life. You're going to feel how the vibration from the channel moves into your life and makes your everyday living even more spiritual. Okay. And May is when you're going to really strike out. You're going to get a masterful new idea. Don't allow the bumps in the road to hinder your progress. So you're going to figure out a way to do this. Clear up communication problems with others. So if you're having problems with others and it shows you going back to your family and having a really happy family life. So I'm seeing a work dealing with the problems of just being in a family life sort of thing. Okay. And that's
a journey of its own.
Yeah. July, you're going to start getting a lot of, that's when your channel is really going to start growing. Look what you got, the 9 of Cups. It's going to grow at a measure you can handle. And that's going to be good for you. And then July, that's July. August. August is when you're going to start to feel a little financial freedom from your station. Not just a ton, but you're either going to figure out a way to work out a membership plan, or people are going to contribute to your channel on a regular basis because they think it's valuable. And that's going to take a lot of burdens off of you. Some things you're going to find you need while you're running your channel are going to become available to you. Let's see. So our bottom row is about to disappear. Okay, now, so September, you're riding high. You're getting hold of the channel. You're really learning how to work the system. Stability, efficiency, taking charge of the situation. And you got the 7 of Pentacles reversed, means you've planted your crop and now it's finally starting to pay off for you. And I mean pay off in spiritual as well as other ways. So October. Okay, October is going to be a time when you're going to go inward. I love this archangel. It's Archangel Haniel, the moon. And the opportunity to improve your plans, listen to your intuition for higher guidance, face your fears, and you're going to grow stronger. And you're not going to have to move. I think there's some possibility you might move to a different place in Florida.
I hadn't planned it. We built this house as our one.
Okay, I don't think you, if there was an opportunity to move, I don't think you take it. And November is stand up for what you believe in, have confidence, claim your personal power. And that's you as the Queen of Swords, which I think you would be pretty much. You're going to be able to take over your personal power in November. And by December, you got the sun again.
Nice.
A year from now, you're going to be riding high and understanding all that you need to know. And your modifier is the Lovers, which means you're going to be meeting with more people. You're feeling life is wonderful. Thrive through the power of positive thinking. So the way this works out is you got a lot of major arcana. That means you're in an interesting growth year. And your major arcanas are in the month is the Epiphany and the High Priestess. So January is going to be an important month. May is going to be an important month. September, October, and December are all going to be, there's going to be a lot of really interesting information. What happens to you in these months in between is that's when you settle into the new ideas. You learn what you got going on it. And I really, you've got the sun twice on here. That just means this year is going to be, you're going to remember it as really spectacular.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Yeah,
So,
great. Yeah,
so
I said
that's,
for the one fear that held me back a lot was it was hard getting over the fear my grandmother instilled in me on others knowing. Um,
oh, yeah.
I did some charity when I was a dancer at Busch Gardens. We used to do charity events where some of the girls would do tarot and
Mm-hmm.
palmistry, and I would do runes, tea leaf reading,
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. And I would start getting they would start calling the person in charge to get my number, wanting me to do private. And
Right.
so I backed off and I shut down all that stuff and got away again because it's like, oh no, Kristen, I'll be responsible for anything they do, because that's what I was afraid of, was that of telling people stuff and then them thinking
Mm-hmm.
that they couldn't do anything without me telling them, and then whatever they did would be my responsibility.
No, I went through that too. That's a really common fear. I'm going to come back into the
So
cameras.
yeah, that was a very difficult one to get over. And I think I started finally getting over it a little bit when, right before the end time of my being at work, people realized I knew about dreams. I haven't done this in years, so I haven't done interpretation. I've been out of everything. But I
Mm-hmm.
used to be very good at it. And so people, around, other employees would come up to me and say, "So I had this dream."
Mm-hmm.
you know, and all day long. And so I would talk it through them. And then it helped me get over it because I realized that they're working stuff out on their own through the dream. I'm just helping guide them on what the message was leading them to.
Mm-hmm.
And that helped me get over that fear. I didn't do
Well,
it, but it helped me get over it.
it's that's one of the things when I used to read at table and I was out, in the public doing that, and I would be at the same places every week. I used to tell people, I used to always start every reading with what's going on around you for the next 3 months. And then if we'd see something that we could identify some work issue was coming up or whatever, we'd look more closely at that. And um, I would have people. I had a woman who showed up, and it was a good reading for her. And then she showed up the next week, and she brought two friends, and she did this. Well, as long as I'm with my friend, I want to ask one more question about this. And so at the end of the reading, I said to her friends, "You guys go back and finish your wine at the other table." And I said, "Don't come back here next week thinking I'm going to answer a question for you." And she said, "But I pay you." I said, "It's not about the money. It's, you need to learn to do things on your own." And it's really the other thing that I had a feeling like what you're talking about is when I started doing past lives and people would, my biggest fear was I would tell somebody this happened in your past life. And then they would use that as the reason why they couldn't move forward here. I don't, oh, well, I've always been that way. I came in predestined to be that way. It's not, instead
I
of
always look
understanding.
at it as a way of a challenge to make it different.
Well, they didn't, there's some people who will never see it that way. That gives them a quick out. And I think after 2018, I don't think too many people feel like that. I think I don't have that much resistance about that anymore. But so I was always kind of afraid about doing past lives because that had happened to a couple of people when I first did them. They mistook what the energy was really supposed to be about. And when I work with people one-on-one now, it's normally in Zoom. It's not in a public place. That's the other thing. When you're reading in a public wine bar, you are reading in a public wine bar. And, I'd actually used to have to tell people, stand behind the person I'm reading. I said, "Excuse me, this is their reading. What are you doing here? Move it." Okay. I'm going to go back to the table because we have 4 questions. And I'm going to read them on the table because I think it's better if you can see the cards.
Yeah.
Personally. Okay. And this is the first question. Carmen B, 6502. Will I move out of South Carolina? I'm going to put a time element on this. I'm going to say give you the next year. If Debbie, if you want to join in, feel
Sure.
free.
Let's see. Cards.
Okay. I'm giving it a year. It said there's something going on around you that you don't know about right now. Let's see. I'm gonna have to raise this up a little higher. There we go. Now it all fits. Okay. It's a yes and a no, and there's going to be a financial thing that's going to come up relatively quickly. I'd say in the next 3 to 4 months. It's going to have a whole lot to say about it, whether you go there or not. But moving out of South Carolina, it's going to be a very unconventional life change for you, and it would break you away from some people you're attached to, or there's someone very close to you that does not want to make that move. But the money will appear within 10 weeks, I think. And I don't think it's going to be 10 months because I said within the next year, maybe next October. But there's something going on behind your question about that. And I think you need to solve that mystery before you can decide about moving on. What did you see, Debbie?
Okay, well, I have the temptation, which there's a lot going on that's that wants you to move. You're going to find a lot of things pushing you towards that direction. There's going to be some conflict and things holding you back for a bit. You're going to feel trapped. It could be because of people, situations, stuff like that. With patience, going to be the next 3 months. With patience, things will start progressing. And I was getting March next year.
Yeah. And what I got is a yes, no. Right now, something's still going on that you need to resolve before you can even begin to make your mind up about that.
Yeah.
This is another question that came in for the comments. Will my financial situation get better? Okay, we're going to put 6 months. I'm going to put a 6 month on this because, I could say, oh, yeah, it's going to be sterling. You're going to win the lottery. And if you don't win the lottery for 10 years, you're going to be very angry with me. She didn't know what she was talking about. Cecilia. Not looking good here, Cecilia. Yeah, eventually. You're going to quit not making your mind up about how to handle things. And you're going to get off being the hangman. You're going to let yourself go, and you're going to look for something that is more lucrative, that has more money. It may mean having to go back and learn a new set of skills, and you'll really be good at it. When you do that, then you can move. That's what's holding you back. You've been offered chances to get more training, and you haven't taken them. Or you haven't put yourself in a situation where you get more training. What'd you get?
Well, I have a lot against what I feel is more of a community thing. Maybe someone helping you, wanting to help you out of the kindness of their heart.
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to also be some memories of love. I think there's going to be things holding you back because you're afraid to let go of something.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have voice and celebration. Things are going to start moving along, but you're going to find out about some deception that happened that was holding you back.
Mm-hmm.
Going to ignite your passion, and then you're going to move forward. You're going to move on.
you're going to get a chance to learn something, and you're going to have a mastery of it. I think it's almost, this is this thing I don't talk about, past life thing, but it's going to remind you of something you've done before, and you're going to pick the skill up real quickly. So, and I said 6 months, so keep your eyes open. Free spirit hippie. My brother turned 50 and lost his farm job. He only knows farm work, and he's been a volunteer fireman. Will he find a new job that's right for him soon? Okay. Yeah, he's getting out of a bad situation. Yes, he's going to find something. And I have a feeling it has to do with he's learned a whole lot of mechanics working on the farm, but where he was working, they didn't appreciate him. He's going to, once he opens his mind, once he quits, okay. Did he like doing farm work because it's what he's done since he was a kid and he didn't have to think about it? Because it shows if he puts feelers out, he's going to find a lot of people that really want to help him go on to new endeavors. And that's not going to be an easy transition for him because it's going to be a complete change. I think, let me see if what I'm seeing about this one's right. Okay. Your brother doesn't want to grow up. That's the biggest problem he has. And he needs to grow up where he can quit worrying about what doesn't work, get in the boat with the right people who trust him. And I think I'm getting the overriding feeling your brother has a learning disability that makes reading and writing difficult for him. And so he doesn't want to go in. He thinks, so the only way you can get another job is to be able to read and write. So what'd you get, Joyce?
Okay, well, I have patience. He's going to have to be patient. Yeah, he is trapped in fear, but it's a fear of his own making. He's not seeing all the possibilities, the other openings from all the things he learned while being on the farm. Because there's so much involved, like you said, mechanics. There's so much, which opens the door to so many other areas. But he's going to go through a transformation. He's going to someone's going to start pointing things out. And there's going to be some choices and decisions and movement. He's going to have an opportunity come his way. It's going to be very financial, and for him, the changes are going to be very good, but he is going to have to really work on his communications, on honest communications, being able to think things through, not panic, and realize that he really knows what he's talking about and go with it and just get that across. And that's what I got.
And 50 is an interesting time. He's got the number, obviously the energy of 5 in his own birth number, and 5 is change, and it's just a time for him to change. And he's gonna have to bite the bullet and grow up and learn to take care of himself. Okay, let's see what we got. And I'm not gonna leave y'all with just looking at this damn table. I'm gonna go back and find the people who asked for readings. I would like a general reading, family healing. Thank you, Cece. Okay, I'm going to do 2 lines. I'm going to do a line so I can see what the problem is, and then I'm going to see a line about the healing, okay? You can lay this out any way you want, Joyce. You got your own methods. Joyce is one of my happy gardeners. She uses the Oracle Garden with me.
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay, this is family healing, the general reading. No, you're right. Things are pretty tough where you are. Somebody's trapped and you're aware of it, and you're really trying to help them get out. You get the High Priestess, which is your intuition. Somebody needs to make a decision. They're avoiding having to go through a complete transition. They don't like it. What is today with, maybe it's the general vibration of the day is nobody wants to change, but I hope they do. You've got the Eight of Cups. They're being offered ways to get out. Someone's being offered ways to get out of this, but quite honestly, they'd rather keep the anger around them. So let's see, will there be family healing? Okay, there will be family healing for the one who chooses it. Whatever's going on in your family, CC, they need to quit thinking the whole world's going to fall apart if everybody knows about this. They need to find people they feel safe and confident with. Justice can mean a lot of different things. And sometimes when justice is reversed, no matter what decision is made, somebody's going to think it's unjust. Okay? But for those who make the feeling for their own spirit and what they need to do, those who do not run away from their intuition, they will end up in a very happy place. The other people really have to find their own hermit. They have to find their own guide out. So if you may need to pull out of it, you cannot heal them. They have to decide to heal themselves. And, you know, sometimes the best way to heal somebody is to get well yourself. And then they'll come and ask you, how the hell did you do that? Okay, Joyce?
Okay. So, all right, there's a lot of choices and decisions going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As far as with the family, all right, the universe is speaking to you. You really know what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how to work through it, but you have to be more gentle because of with the foundation and achievements. You know, you have to be more gentle with the family unity. You don't want to divide everyone. You're trying to do it in a way where everyone comes together.
Mm-hmm.
But that can't happen because there's some people who are discontent. They're bored with the way things are and want something wild or different. They want a total change, where you might not be pushing for a complete total change. Intuition, go with what you feel and know. Start working on yourself within you and heal your inner child.
Mm-hmm.
And then while you're working on your inner child, through courage and bravery, you'll be able to clear, cancel, and release what's holding you back, and that will help them follow through, and they'll see you and come to you and learn how to just release stuff, to let things go.
Okay, I'm going to ask about, I see you as sitting contentedly. Yeah, you're going to have to break from the family myths, from what people have always believed the structure was. You're going to have to make up your own mind, and you're going to have to pick the way you want to go. It's kind of like what Joyce and I were talking about when we were talking about when she finally came to terms with her being psychic and saying, oh, screw this. Edgar Cayce helped grandma. Why should I hide under the bed? And there's a lot of that going on in families where people are going to have to pick. And often just being who you are is the best way to do that. I could not be who my family wanted me to be. Yeah. And so, wait a minute, get rid of you. Hide. And so I had to go my own way. And okay, let's see. Okay, this is the next one. G. Covington. What is the theme of my life in 2025? Okay. I'm going to pick what is the direction, not the theme, because they got that card again. God, these two cards keep showing up, guys. The theme of your life is you're going to be working on your intuitive skills. You've made some decisions to make some life changes. They may make a difference in money you earn or money you can keep or like that. You're still trying to avoid the big change that you think you ought to make. And it's because you're being the I like the Page of Swords reversed because that's kind of how I am about half the time. But it's like, I don't want to do it that way. I'm going to take my sword and cut all that other stuff out and go on. None of this is set in stone. So what I think I would do is I would allow myself to have the income I need to have. You know, when the tower falls down, when you lay out all the major arcana, when the tower falls down, it's because things have just gotten to a point where everything's that unstable and it just falls. Putting off the tower doesn't make it fall any less. And the card that's actually after the tower falling is the Star. That's new beginnings. So maybe if you let the things that need to fall away, you don't have to be the argumentative Page of Swords. You can be the Page of Swords that runs around sticking your sword in everybody's bag of bullshit. So, which is kind of a fun game I play too. Go on.
Okay. Well, I have recognition and reward. So, you know what you want to happen. You know, you already know what you want to happen, and you've already been working towards it. Now, you're gonna hold back a little bit because you don't want to let go of some of the comfort you've had from the past. You know, it's going to get a little. Things are going to change, and change is not always easy. You have ideas. There's something coming. There's something you've been thinking of that you're working on. You have ideas. There's going to be a little bit of setback. You're going to find some of the people you thought were supporting you really aren't. And you're going to have to deal with that. But then again, like I said, you've got that fertility in front of it. So you've got plans already moving forward. You know what you want. And then it's followed by movement, choices, and decisions. Your decisions, you'll make good choices. I think your decision is going to be, when it comes to that time, you'll have worked it through. You'll have your decision made. I got the card dynamic. The frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequencies. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. So you're going to be able to use your ideas, bring something from the past that you didn't want to let go. You're going to be able to bring some of it with you into your ideas, into what you're planning.
Cool.
That's what I got.
Yeah, you're going to have to take action, though. The universe is not going to show up on your doorstep and say, "Here's the answer."
No, we have to work through it.
It has to be our answer too, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get a general reading for Esther.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, Esther, we should all have such lovely general readings.
Really?
Yes. Yes. And she would not predict that today because she ain't feeling real good today.
Wow.
I see that there was an opportunity for movement. You didn't take it. And you kind of are two ways about that. But you're going to stay with people that do love and support you and take care of you. And you're getting the 10 of Cups. You're going to eventually get what you want. But you have two cards here that relate to each other. The Knight of Swords, whenever I get him in a reading and he's right side up, generally it means the person's moving jobs, moving house, moving something. And it's something big. It's not something they're going to miss. I mean, you're not going to say, "Oh, I didn't see that happening." You have to actively participate in it. And this is also the six of the, in a traditional tarot deck. That's the six of swords is where the mother and the child are sitting in the boat and they're going away from troubled waters when it's right side up. When it's reversed, it means you're not going to run away from your troubles this time. You're going to stay and settle them. But it's going to work out, girl. So face it. Let me see if I can. Yep, you're wrong. You've decided to not trouble over it anymore. You're walking away from all the little battles. You've made up your mind about what you want to do. You're going to go there and you're just going to live with the judgment that happens from it. And it's going to free you from all the worry that's been making you crazy over here. What'd you get? If you got the complete opposite, remember, not all readers are alike.
Yeah, well, the cards are wonderful.
Oh, good.
Wonderful card. You have destiny. You are surrounded in love. You do have those that support you, and you're aware of it. And they show you. You are. You're aware of the problems that are around you. Mm-hmm. You're aware of the things that decisions coming your way. You're already aware of them, and you're making peace with them. But you got light. Something wonderful is coming your way. I mean, something really good is on its way, and you're ready for it. And I pulled Bethany. When you take excellent care of yourself, everybody benefits. Give yourself a relaxing treat today, such as a massage, sea salt bath, or pedicure. Self-love. Just start doing some self-love for yourself because you have wonderful things coming your way. You got to get yourself ready for it and prepared. That's what
I love when people get good readings because when you're a reader, they reflect what's happening around you.
That's a wonderful reading.
Right. And okay. G. Covington, who we read earlier, said, I woke up one morning and my guide said to me, 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. Guess it was a warning. Yeah, that's the precursor. The next one is, when you wake up the next day, is it 1 or is it 2?
Yeah.
And there's somebody in here. Okay. Madhu was the next question last time I did open readings. So we're going to do a quick reading on what's going on around Madhu. Okay? Because I tried to copy them and my computer did a power glitch and I lost all. There were 3 comments, but I remember Madhu because I've read her before. I think it's improving around Madhu. That's what I'm going to word the question because I think it was something like that was in the questions. We have 22 brave souls that thought didn't come because they thought we'd be doing politics.
I'm avoiding politics for a little while.
Oh no, my family's going to get there and we're going to have shot glasses in each state that goes our way. We get a shot of whatever our favorite. And mine will not be iced tea. Yeah, you're still not feeling a lot of justice and you're seriously thinking about walking. I think you may be thinking about changing exactly the emphasis of what you do in your profession. You've just about made your mind up about that. You still have not connected with the right handler, or she works in computer science and she's looking for a professional job in that. You still haven't found the right person, employment specialist, but you are just about to get very active. So I would say in the next month or so, it's going to get a lot more active around you, Madhu, and it will be more positive. What'd you get?
Okay. Well, I have prosperity begins.
Good.
Followed by partnership and alliances. So you are going to there's some change coming. You're going to find a new partnership. And it's someone that you're going to harmonize with. However, you're still going to have to stand your ground because just because they're a great partner and y'all get along great and things are working out, you still have to stand up for yourself. You got to stand your ground and find some balance. Your wishes are going to be fulfilled. And I got a star for you. You deserve the best. Reach for the stars with your dreams and desires and don't compromise, which goes back to stand your ground. And that's what I got.
Well, that's good. Madhu, you ought to be real happy with that. Hers is slightly more positive. Mine just finding the right recruiter. I mean, getting someone who's got the into the company is really important in that field. Okay. So we're going to talk about once we get back to where you can see my shiny face. And I did color my hair for y'all today. That's why it's so purple. Let's see. Okay. December. My December is going to be really kind of different than it normally is. I got as a early Christmas gift a box of rocks. It's the Advent calendar by Stones. And if you don't know what an Advent calendar is, and I know there's some people who don't, and the Christian tradition, and especially I was an Episcopalian and we had them, and Catholics had them. You had a box when you were a little kid. It was to keep you out of the Christmas tree. But what it has is there's 24 days of stones. And behind each of those doors is a stone. And once a day, as a celebration of coming up to Christmas, I will be on my channel, hopefully with either another reader or someone out of my classes I teach, or maybe somebody I know from the chat. I don't know, but I guess I got to find 24 of you, and that's not easy in the holiday season. But we're going to open that stone, and this is put out by the National Geographic. So they have a thing explaining each stone and how to work with it and what it's about. And so it's kind of a chance to catch up at the end of the year with 24 stones, rocks and minerals, and there's a couple fossils that are in here. It's a chance to learn a little bit more. This is a great way to learn about stones and things because you're learning it just sort of piecemeal each day, and it's not like I have to go learn all 24 stones. Or you can look upon it this way. The days you can make it, that's the kind of crystal you need to be working with and the energy of that crystals. And there's a difference. Crystals are minerals that are in highly organized patterns where when you get down to the littlest, it's just like all the ones that are bigger, bigger, bigger. So when you see quartz stones that have the 6-pointed top, it's because if you take it down to its littlest bit, there's a little 6-pointed something in there. Rocks are mixtures of minerals. They can be a pure mineral, but they got mixed stuff in them. That's stones. And fossils are fossils. I mean, they were alive at one time and they are not now, but they're hard as a rock. So, and I use a lot of fossils as ancestor stones because they were alive once and now they're not, and they're here for us to use. So if you guys want to, and I'm going to teach some sacred geometry in with those because there are some crystals that are based on 4, some are based on 6, some are based on 8. And I'm going to talk. I actually got an email today from a lady who stumbled across a giant piece of quartz in the woods where she lives. I have no idea where this woman lives. But she took it home because it just said, take me home. So she took it home. And she got home and then she heard him saying, you're going to build a portal coming into your house where the stone's going to be there and you're going to put shells and a couple plants and some other things. So, and she wanted my advice. So I told her how to cleanse the quartz. Because quartz you can cleanse with water. And I said I would wash it off completely and talk to it while I'm getting it all clean. And I would thank the elementals in the woods that have taken care of it for all this time and bless it to be now an element of your new portal. And then I'm going to talk. She wanted to know if she should put 4 plants out or should there be 5 things in it. And that all gets into sacred geometry. So, and I don't have enough time. I only have 6 minutes. And I promise, as much as I know about it, I could not give you a 6-minute class that would teach you.
I'm looking forward to it. I've had a bad experience with portals, so
Well, if you build them, people say, I'm going to build this pretty thing, and it's like, I have, this is the smaller of the geodes. A woman gave me 2 geodes one day just because I built a grid for her here in Dallas. And she said, I want to give you something back. So, and the other one's big. This is the little one. Okay. And she gave me both sides of the geodes, and they had been cracked, and they're cracked the right way and everything. I couldn't keep all 4 parts of that geode in the same room. Geodes have so much energy. You just figure the energy that's inherent in that stone is bouncing around in there. And this one is a smoky quartz geode. So it's
a strong one.
Yeah.
I've always found smoky quartz to be very strong.
Yes. And it's a great healing stone. So I have one behind me, and I have its bigger brother right behind me too. And then I had the other 2 in the front room. And then I gave one away this year as a gift to somebody because they really needed grounding. They really needed. Trust me about this. So let's see. And if you're interested in the 12-month reading, the one I did with Debbie, usually doing a 12-month reading takes about an hour because we go into the months, and which is your birthday month. And she knew it was going to be a quick and dirty. I said, I just want people to see what it is because it's hard to imagine. And I'm actually doing all kinds of readings still. I still do my past lives, and I still build grids. Love to build a few grids. The universe has said, not right now. Obviously, because no one's asked for it. If somebody asked for it, I wouldn't care what the universe said. I'm building a grid. But that's kind of where we are. And I went to the eye doctor, and my eyes have shifted again, but it's nothing that a change in the lens can't fix. And my eyes were the same for 25 years. So the idea that they're going to start shifting every year is much more of a proposition than I want to deal with.
Yeah.
But
it's always been a scary thing, losing that side.
Well, I don't lose it. I actually have one of my eyes has such a bad astigmatism without a lens, I can't see anything out of it. The whole world is like a Monet painting. And the other eye didn't have an astigmatism. Now the eye that didn't have astigmatism has a slight one. The other one's still as blind as I could ever want to be. And what else is going on? Oh, my eldest son sent me a picture today, and he's in Wisconsin, and they were sending out the day of election walkers. And there's a story out of Wisconsin. This one walker went out on Saturday and got to this house and was talking to the guy, said, I don't want to discuss it. I think they're both too old. I wouldn't want to be running the country if I was their age. And the walker's kind of looking at me and goes, what are you talking about? This guy had just cut it off so much. He did not know that the Democrat wasn't Biden anymore.
Oh, wow.
And he said, it's Kamala. He said, well, I've seen her speak a couple times recently, and she sounds really decent, but I figure they had her out because he's too old to be out on. And she said, and the guy said, there's no way he'd vote for Trump. So they said, your polling place is just around the corner, and if you're registered, we can rush you over there. So I got another vote in for Kamala.
Nice.
So if you figure, and in Michigan, when Trump won, he only won it by 1 or 2 votes in each precinct. So finding that one person, in each of those spots. So I love working field. I love what Sean's doing. I love putting him out, walking people and doing all that stuff. And he said the billionaires that they set up to win Wisconsin and Michigan, they don't live in the state. I mean, they move there to run only. That's kind of an interesting thing. So for those of you who really didn't want to hear anything about,
there really needs to be a thing where you should have to live in a state for 10 years before you could run for something there.
Well, there's going to be a whole lot of changes in the election rules. Trust me. They've seen because I guess it was in Wisconsin where she asked him, she said, which jet did you fly in today? Because his kids are all in school in Connecticut. You know, he has nothing to do. And the one that's in Michigan, I think, is from California. So anyway, life's like that, and it's almost over, guys.
Yeah. Well, really, we'll know.
No, just think, it's almost over. It's almost
It's
everybody.
almost over, but we're going to still have the 2 years of adjustments.
Oh, it's going to take us 10 years to not wake up in the morning and say, what's that ugly orange mouth going to say today that's going to ruin my day? I mean, I had to get to a point 5 years ago where I wouldn't let it ruin my day. You know.
But yeah, all the ads, all the phones and stuff going off because they're sending you so much stuff will be gone.
Oh, see, I live in a state where somebody kept calling my daughter's number because she's the perfect demographic, a 47-year-old woman, you know, that votes all the time. So they kept calling her saying, have you and all your family members? And she said, look, can you take a few minutes and just write into the database, I voted, my mom's voted, my sisters voted, and our housemates voted, and we're all done. We're done and dusted. You don't need to call. Wait till you can find someone who needs to hear from you. And so the woman looked it up and she said, I found all 5 of you. You're right. You're all.
I received on my phone a message from my husband from Ted Cruz wanting him to save him, to send him money. And it's like, first, wrong phone. Second, wrong state. And third, wrong party.
Yeah, Ted got so desperate he had Governor Wheelie do an ad for him. And the only person that's more disliked than Ted Cruz is Abbott. And so it's like, boy, is that a mistake. But we'll see tonight. We'll see tonight. But
yeah,
we've done what we can do. We've spread love and light, and
now
it's
we
a
have to
lesson.
put all the positive energy out there and just let it happen.
Yeah, because you live in a state like I do that
Yeah.
you almost feel cursed. It's an election year. I'm cursed.
Yeah. Florida's been
Anyway, goodbye to everybody. Thank you for coming.
Bye. Love it. Bye.
Talk to you later.